Hello everyone, my name is Pink Yulia and welcome back to Escape from the Princess. So, she asked us why that we don't regret helping her, so I'm doing it for the medallion. I want adventure, I just want to help you. Well, we know that our character is just doing it for the medallion, but I'm just gonna say I just want to help you. I don't know if I'll regret this later or not, but I want to help you. And it's not just about the medallion, although yes, I really want it, but even though you haven't told me the entire truth about yourself, you don't seem like a terrible criminal to me. And what do I look like? Like someone who did something stupid or had accidentally gotten herself in trouble. Or maybe both, I don't know. In any case, I made the decision to help you, and I don't intend to go back on that. But what if you regret it later? It wouldn't be the first time I've done something foolish. You're a real weirdo. Why is that? I'm used to relying on myself and trusting my own judgment. Ultimately, I have free will, and I can make my own decisions. Even if I have to face the consequences of them later on, in the end, they're my decisions to make and no one else's. I imagine you'd need to be quite courageous to live life as you do. Not really, you just need to be confident enough. Anyhow, the only person who doesn't make a mistake is a dead one, and I'm very much alive, so it's forgivable. Zara laughs softly, and I see a cheerful light in her eyes. Finished with her question, she changes the topic of conversation. Almost as if we were old friends, we chat about trivial things until the sun sets. Delicately covering her mouth with her hand, the witch yawns and I realize it's time for bed. Unfortunately, I remember Zara's confession about liking girls. And the thought makes me uncomfortable again. Well, I'll just have to pretend everything's fine. And besides, why am I even embarrassed? Unlike the witch, I'm not into that kind of stuff. It's gotten late. Should we head to bed? Yes, I think so. It's been a hard day. So, after you? Zara smiles slyly after glancing at my flushed face. I assure you, you have nothing to worry about from me. I told you already that I won't touch you. At least, unless you asked me to. I'm not worried. Besides, what makes you think I might want it? For a girl who claims to only be interested in guys, you're quick to blush whenever you speak of sleeping in bed with me. That's absolutely not true. You could sleep naked and I wouldn't even look your way. Oh, really? You know, I just so happen to enjoy sleeping in the nude. Zara begins pulling off her dress and I feel a rush of heat overwhelm me. Stop! What are you doing? But didn't you just say? I didn't say anything. Clearly you enjoy undressing in front of strangers. And yet somehow get offended when I call you a pervert. Let's just go to bed. Incensed, I dive into the bed and close my eyes. I don't want to watch Zara slip under the covers with me. Oh, how did my life come to this? To think I need to tell a girl not to undress in front of me. I'm glad Mom's not here to see this mess. I feel the mattress shift as the witch lays down and settles next to me, trying to get comfortable. Having found a good position, she sighs in contentment, covers herself with a blanket, and whispers. Good night, Rosetta. I grunt unintelligibly and try scooting away from her. But the bed is pretty small. I'll just have to accept the fact that we'll be nearly touching each other all night. Within minutes, the witch is asleep. Apparently, the day had exhausted her. Although it's past my bedtime, I can't stop thinking about the girl who's sleeping peacefully by my side. And that her closeness bothers me. Attempting to distract myself from the situation, I try to think of shops where I might be able to buy the right kind of fabric for our disguises. But the warmth emanating from my guest's body, as well as the musk and oriental spices that surround her, prevents me from focusing. The spicy scent teases me, and I feel within myself things I'd never felt before. This isn't good at all. I try with all my might to toss away every thought from my head. And to my surprise, it actually works. I soon fall asleep. Sounds like to me that we might be bi without knowing it. We're a closet bi. Maybe that's why she just says it's all perverted stuff, because she's in denial about herself. The night passes peacefully. Even though I rarely dream, I had a wild one last night, although I can't remember it all, only that it was exciting. The bright morning sunlight shines right in my face and shamelessly rouses me from my slumber. Wincing and yawning, I try to stretch out before climbing out of bed, but to my surprise, I can't move. Slowly, I open my eyes and immediately realize the cause of my unexpected paralysis. The witch, who breathed into my ear all night long, has me in her arms. Oh, that's so cute, actually. Just so innocent. I love it. And her legs wrapped around me. I feel her warmth seep into my skin as she snuggles against me, like we are more than just casual acquaintances. Of course, I realize this is likely unintentional, but the situation throws me into a fever. Zara's press up against mine, and I can feel her breath on my skin. I squint, trying to clear my head. Never have I been in such a questionable position, let alone with a girl. Closing my eyes only intensifies the feeling of closeness I have to this tanned witch, so I open them wide again. Zara looks calm and relaxed. Her slightly open lips smile almost imperceptibly. I guess she's having a very pleasant dream. I, on the other hand, am too embarrassed to know what to do. What's particularly confusing is that I'm actually enjoying this, lying in the arms of my guest, listening to her breathe. I spend a few moments exploring these feelings, but then remember that decent girls shouldn't get themselves into such compromising positions, and so begin looking for a way to escape from under the blanket. I need to slip out of the witch's arms before she wakes up, otherwise the situation is bound to get even more awkward. I try to carefully pull myself from her grasp, but to no avail. Maybe I should try pushing her away? Unable to come up with a better idea, I place my hands on her boobs to begin pushing. That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. She's gonna wake up and think we're groping her. Despite desperately trying to get out of bed, it's hard not to notice the softness and warmth of her bosom. I think maybe I know why guys enjoy touching them so much. I have to admit, it is a very interesting feeling. Soon I get the ball and body rolling. Just a little more and I'll be able to quietly slip out of bed. I just need to push a little more and... I thought you said you weren't into girls. I knew it. Oh my gosh, that's great. It's not what you think. Really? Because it certainly looks like it. All your talk about perverts and your... It's not like that. You have it all wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, can you stop grabbing me? Although I can't say I'm particularly against it, but... It's only polite to ask first before touching. I immediately pull my hands away and hide them behind my back. As if the entire situation meant nothing to her, Zara yawns. I'm not interested at all. Don't make things up. I'm not surprised you like them, but didn't you say you were unaffected by feminine charm? Who said anything? What charm? Anyway, get your legs off of me. It's time to get up. It's already morning. How long can you possibly sleep? Zara reluctantly pulls away and sits up in bed. Sighing peacefully, she glances out the window, which streams bright sunlight into the room. I see it's already morning. The first morning of my new life. The witch smiles wistfully, then turns to me. You have no idea how lucky you are. You can sleep as much as you want. And there's no one to wake you at dawn, to dress you and comb your hair as if you were a mindless doll. No meetings, no boring gossip, no hypocritical smiles, no control. Zara pauses and looks past me, then as if realizing what she just said, she changes the topic. Well, Sinjura, what's for breakfast? I wouldn't really say I was up, since I was stuck in between your legs. And breakfast depends on how much money is left over from yesterday's shopping trip. Although, considering how much you gave me, there should be more than enough for a few meals. But I'll need to buy everything we need for our plan, too. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to visit the tailoring shop for materials for our disguise. So I might need a bit more money, just in case. I have no idea how much this is all going to cost. I hope whatever outfits we make are good enough to pass us off as priestesses, at least from a distance. Without saying a word, Zara immediately pulls a sack of gold out of the folds of her oriental robes that hang on the back of the chair. She counts a few coins before abruptly stopping, then silently stares at me for a few moments, as if contemplating something. Listen, since you're going to the market, can you look for a purification crystal at the alchemy shop? I'll give you the money for that, too. Purification crystal? Even though I'm aware of the curse that sealed some of Zara's abilities, the question catches me off guard. Purification crystals are very rare and expensive. They're used to lift magical ailments, curses, and hexes. But a record is kept of each crystal's history, and it was clearly stated on the poster that there will be consequences for helping Zara lift her curse. Yeah, I believe the consequence was death. Although Zara doesn't know that I know about the curse, maybe I should ask her about it? Well, I can check if they're being sold, but I can't guarantee anything. But you should know those crystals aren't so easy to purchase, at least not as easy as, for example, potency potions. The captain of the guard suddenly pops into head, but I quickly banish the thought. Why do you need a purification crystal? The only thing they're good for is lifting spells and curses. Which is exactly why I need one. Before I escaped from the palace, I was cursed with a very specific spell. A specific spell? Like one that turns you into a frog if someone kisses you? No, that spell works in the reverse. You kiss a frog and then it turns into... Wait, don't confuse me, please. Basically, I'm unable to use my full magic because of that curse. And you, of course, want to lift it. Yes, no. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, forget about the crystal. Let's deal with our disguises first. Are you sure? If I were you, I'd be pretty worried about a curse preventing me from using my magic power in all its glory. You don't understand. Some magic powers are not a gift, but a curse. And I can be careless. Everyone's careless sometimes, or do you think you're the only one it happens to? Ignoring my comment, Zara continues. When I'm overwhelmed with emotion, I often do things I regret later. Sometimes, I think maybe I'd be better off if my magic were sealed away forever. You witches are so weird. I'd never believe someone would involuntarily forsake some of their own magic. Not when so many would kill to have those very same abilities. Okay, let's change the subject. Zara hands me a few gold coins. We're going to have breakfast? What about the crystal? I'll think about that later. Now go. I glance at Zara suspiciously. First she wanted the crystal, and now she doesn't. Why can't she make up her mind already? Are all witches so indecisive? I'd never have thought. but honestly, I'm glad she changed her mind. I still value this head on my shoulders, which I'd risk losing for helping lift her curse. So you would risk it? If she really wanted the crystal, you would get it for her, even knowing that you would die? Interesting. I can't help imagining my own execution. It's an ordinary summer day. Sunlight shines down upon a lonely scaffold in the middle of the main square. Nah, this should be overcast. Gloomy storm clouds hang over the town, illuminating the main square with occasional flashes of lightning. It's raining pretty hard, as if the goddess herself is already mourning the loss of one of her fairest daughters. A large crowd of spectators gather around the scaffold, eager to witness. Who'd want to get wet when it's raining so hard? No, they'd be watching from the windows, with only a few brave souls standing next to the scaffold. I heave a heavy sigh. It's not as much fun dying without any spectators. I'd have hoped for a bigger crowd. Anyway, this dark and dull day, it rains as if thousands of celestial spirits mourn, blah blah blah. Next. A beautiful yet lonely maiden steps onto the scaffold and raises her head proudly, as if ignoring the large crowd that gazes upon her with amazement and delight. A cold gust of wind. Wait, why is it cold? It's summer. A warm breeze. No, that's not right. That doesn't sound tragic at all. A gust of wind ruffles the long flowing hair that covers the girl's body, as if it were her death shroud. Imagining this magnificent scene, I feel my nose tingle from how exciting it would be. You're a thrill seeker, then? And the girl, without relinquishing any of her dignity or pride, kneels before the executioner's block. The merciless executioner, who secretly blinks away an unwanted tear, raises his axe over the head of his hapless victim. Then I imagine my head flying down from the scaffold, and I shudder. But what terrifies me most isn't the fact that I'd be decapitated, but that no one would allow me to be executed with my hair unfastened. They'd surely cut it off, as they usually do when a criminal has long thick hair, which might interfere with the executioner's work. How tragic. And such magnificence should not be wasted. What if they weave the victim's hair into wigs to be worn by noblewomen? The terrible thought that brings tears to my eyes, and I instinctively grab my tresses and hold them close. I didn't spend so many years growing my hair just so it could decorate someone else's head. As a person with long hair, I completely agree that I am terrified to get it cut. No, I mustn't let myself be caught helping that witch. Otherwise... Are you okay? That look on your face. And what are you doing with your hair? What a great question, Zara, and we will find that out in the next video, because that is all the time I have. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!